So many people ask me, when was the moment you changed? I did not change with a single moment, and I don't think anybody changes with a single moment. What people get wrong is that I had this one moment where everything changed and I was a different person and my mentality was completely different. That's the romanticized version that you want it to be in your head. You want to have this moment where the earth cracks and everything changes and you have this rocky training montage and you transform into this new version of yourself. There wasn't this one particular moment where I just decided everything was going to be different. I had to choose that every single day. And some days I chose the wrong thing. Some days I chose to be the old piece of shit version of myself. It was not one decision. It was thousands of decisions. And that's what you have to realize, is you're not going to wake up and have this epiphany where you're just like, I need to change. You have to wake up every morning and consciously choose that.
Nobody talks about saving money. It's just not a conversation. If you make $49,000 a year, live as if you're making 27. Everybody lives over what they make. No wonder you can't save money. Your apartment's too nice. Of course you can't save money. Your car is too fancy. Of course you can't save. You're buying clothes you can't afford. People's complete inability to take one step backwards, to take two steps forward, is destroying people.
How to interrupt someone. Let me introduce you to two that persons. The first is that person who can't help themselves when someone else is talking. If they have a thought in their head, they have to announce it right now to the entire group. It doesn't matter if they interrupted the flow of conversation. Sometimes they'll offer a non-apology like, I'm sorry, but these are the interrupters. The second is that person who never enters the conversation at all. They're so timid, so tentative, so afraid to interrupt someone that they never get heard in the first place. How do we solve this problem? The answer is the permission-seeking question. The permission-seeking question is that special little loophole that allows you to interrupt the flow of conversation and add your own thought without conducting a hostile takeover of the other person's platform. I'll demonstrate what this looks like. It's beautiful and simple. Do you mind if I share a quick thought? Can I add something to what you're saying? Is it okay if I add one thing? Notice how it doesn't offend the person who's talking. It invites collaboration with that person. You can even use this strategy in order to signal disagreement. Do you mind if I share a differing perspective? Remember, conversations are collaborations, not contests. Follow me for more tips and click on the link in the bio for more information.
So if you keep obsessing about your lack of finances, your lack of time, your lack of energy, and those thoughts.
I don't have this. I need this.
What are the chemicals you're feeding your body? You're taking thought. It's producing a frequency, and that frequency in the form of chemistry is storing that thought emotionally right in your second center. You feel guilty, you feel unhappy. The moment you feel unhappy, then you generate more thoughts equal to that feeling, which makes more chemicals, and you keep taking energy from the brain and storing it in the body. If you react to people in your life, and you feel anger, frustration, whether it's traffic, the news, whatever it is, Parents, whatever. You're drawing from this field, this electromagnetic field. You're tapping that resource, and you're making chemistry out of it, and the field shrinks. So now, by doing that and living in survival, the body no longer is a magnet. So now you have very little energy in the brain. In fact, 5% of the energy is in the brain, and 95% is stored in the body. Now the body's been conditioned emotionally.
I think this is a pressure that's created in relationships, especially in the early days, where people expect to spend all their time together. And if you're spending all your time together, then where is the time to grow independently so that you can improve each other's lives? And so if every night you go home and you put a show on together and you watch it, and that's your way of spending time together, you're not investing in or growing the relationship. And then 3 months down the line, you're wondering, why don't we feel any chemistry or any spark or any compatibility? Because you both haven't grown independently. So you haven't been able to grow together.
Have coffee in affluent places. Go and have a coffee in an expensive hotel or a very fancy cafe in a super nice area. Because listen, your Starbucks is gonna cost $4 and it's not gonna be very inspiring, that's for sure. Whereas you might go to a super expensive hotel. You simply go to the lobby and you have a coffee. And the coffee might cost you $8 or $10 compared to $4, but you're gonna look around, you're gonna see money around you. Just simply through osmosis, you're gonna start to get a feeling, you're gonna start to get an understanding for how do these people move, how do they carry themselves.
I was today years old when I found out your thumb is the same length as your nose. Right now, you're looking at your nose, but your brain chooses to ignore it. When a person cries, if it comes from the right eye, it's happiness. But if it comes from the left eye, it's either pain or frustration. Sloppy handwriting by doctors is responsible for over 7,000 deaths per year. You might be drinking water that's older than dinosaurs. The inner skin of a banana peel can help whiten your teeth. If you have a sore throat, eat a cucumber. It will help cool it down and stop the itching. Eating your food slowly will help you lose weight, enjoy your food, reduce stress, and lead to a better digestive system. The smell of rotting potatoes can kill you. Chocolate ice cream has been proven to significantly reduce stress, reduce emotional and physical pain. Consuming chocolate after drinking a lot of alcohol can help cure hangover. The world now has more people dying from obesity than malnutrition. Fake smiling can lead to real happiness. Bats eat enough insects to save the U.S. $1 billion a year in crop damage and pesticides. Listening to your favorite song before bed can help you sleep better and wake up more refreshed. The average person listens to about 25 songs per day. Your entire brain is used when listening to music. It's one of the few activities that does this. Steve Jobs had a high school GPA of 2.65. Daydreaming is said to help people focus on what they want in life. The unhappiest people in the world are those who care most about what others think. Spending more time outdoors can help decrease your chances of depression. Studies show that playing video games are more effective at battling depression than therapy. According to a study, children are less likely to trust ugly people. Real diamonds don't show up on x-rays. Laughter has been a proven way to lose weight. A woman's brain shrinks during pregnancy and can take up to 6 months to regain its size. Marijuana is the oldest, purest, natural, and healthiest pain relief medication in the world. It dates back to 10 BC. It takes nearly 20 years for a 4-year degree to become profitable. If you drink 42 cups of coffee in one sitting, that's enough caffeine to kill you. Caffeine is more addictive than marijuana. Marijuana is not a gateway drug, but cigarettes are. Studies show cigarette smokers are 68% more likely to do hard drugs than pot smokers. Holding grudges is not only bad for your mental health, but it also has physical effects on your brain. McDonald's makes about $59,178,080 per day. People who swear a lot tend to be more honest, upfront, and loyal with their friends, partners, and family. The human brain isn't fully functional until after 10 a.m. Science has proven that school begins way too early. Blueberries can help improve your memory. When the moon is directly above you, that's when you weigh less. M&M's stands for Mars and Murray's, which is the last name of the candy's founders. People who talk to themselves on a daily basis is less likely to have mental disorders. The smell of gasoline triggers the region of the brain that's associated with pleasure. That's why people enjoy the smell of it. More than 60% of men and women use Facebook to stalk their exes. Your brain forgets 81% of the things it learns that day. One way to sweeten watermelon is to sprinkle salt on it. It's estimated that Earth's helium will run out by 2030, and party balloons will cost about $90. A person's height is determined by their father, and a person's weight is determined by their mother. If you sit for more than 11 hours a day, there's a 50% chance you'll die within the next 3 years. People who stay up late are likely to be more intelligent than people who go to bed early. If the sun exploded, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes and 20 seconds, and then we'll vaporize. Scientists have figured out a way to unboil an egg. According to some myths, birthmarks show where you got killed in your last life. In 1980, a Las Vegas hospital suspended hospital workers from putting in bets on when people would die. Before sleeping, 93% of your mind begins to imagine stuff you'd like to happen. 15 minutes of laughter is the benefit of 2 hours of sleep. Phrases like, "Can I ask you something and I have something to tell you?" triggers parts of the brain associated with panic. You can't breathe out your nose with your tongue out. And if you just tried that, you just look like a dog.
Got it!
Drinking cold water on an empty stomach can help boost your metabolism by 30%. Smell can trigger powerful memories. Science suggests that giving birth is the second most painful experience for the human body to endure. The first is getting burned alive. Psychology suggests that people lying to you tend to look up and to their left. 87% of people ask questions they already know the answer to. The average US gamer is 35 years old. Plants make up to more than 80% of life on Earth. 65% of Americans think they're smarter than the average. More than 70% of apologies are meaningless. 91% of people are no longer friends with the person they once called their best friend. There's at least 7 to 10 people who look exactly like you on Earth. You only have a 10% chance of meeting that person.
One of the downsides to success is it can get really lonely in process. And the reason is very often your social circles change. Because if you're developing and growing and your friends aren't, you'll get to this point where you just feel disconnected from them. When you go to hang out with them, it's like, I don't have anything in common with you anymore. I don't even know what to talk to you about because what you care about, I don't care about. You want to talk about the last Netflix fucking series and I don't even know what that is, right? Or there's a disconnect. So there's this season where success can kind of become lonely if you're not in community, which is among the many reasons why our community is so fucking cool, because you're less likely to be alone. When you're doing this all on your own, and some people do, it gets really lonely because you have no one.
What I do when I read is every chapter turns into one action that I have to take. I don't overcomplicate it. Every chapter that I read, it has to lead to one action. So at the end of that chapter, I write in the book the exact action I'm going to take as a result of acquiring that knowledge. Otherwise, why did I read the book? And that's, again, being obsessed about knowledge acquisition and not obsessed enough about knowledge application. The reason we often don't do it is because we think that chapter had 26 good points. You will not take 26 actions from that chapter. And we tend to, at most, read a chapter a sitting, right? And if you do read a chapter a sitting, you have to take that action within the week. I force myself to apply.
Think about this for a moment. What separates a lazy, impulsive, unfocused, selfish, broke, unhappy, anxious person from someone who is purpose-driven, focused, and service-minded, happy, and fulfilled? What separates those two people? Let's say everything in their life is like they're two identical twins. One is lazy and impulsive and unfocused. The other one is purpose-driven, service-minded, wealthy, fulfilled, and happy. What separates those two? You can't say genetics.